The tariff war led by the United States. President Donald Trump is not dying down. In the latest development, Trump on April 13 said he would announce the tariff rate on imported semiconductors within the coming weeks and added that there would be some flexibility granted to certain companies in the industry, intending to increase semiconductor making in the U.S. Trump, while traveling back to Washington on April 13 from his estate in West Palm Beach, told reporters, "We wanted to uncomplicate it from a lot of other companies because we want to make our chips and semiconductors and other things in our country. You have to show a certain flexibility. Nobody should be so rigid." The president's pledge means that the exclusion of smartphones and computers from his reciprocal tariffs on China likely will be ended as Trump looks to reset trade in the semiconductor sector, according to a report by The Guardian on April 14th. Top U.S. officials said the exemption of smartphones, laptops, and other electronic products from import tariffs on China will be short-lived. Speaking to This Week's Jonathan Karl, U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick on April 13th said the administration's decision to exempt a range of electronic devices from tariffs was only a temporary reprieve and added that the semiconductor tariffs will likely come in a month or two.
All those products are going to come under semiconductors, and they're going to have a special focused type of tariff to make sure that those products get reshored. We need to have semiconductors, we need to have chips, and we need to have flat panels. We need to have these things made in America. We can't be reliant on Southeast Asia for all of the things that operate for us. So what he's doing is he's saying they're exempt from the reciprocal tariffs, but they're included in the semiconductor tariffs, which are coming in probably a month or two. So these are coming soon.
Besides referring to the tariff exemption, the U.S. president, in a post on Truth Social on April 14th, said that no one was getting off the hook. Nobody is getting off the hook for the unfair trade balances and non-monetary tariff barriers that other countries have used against us, especially not China, which by far treats us the worst. That I end the same post. Trump also announced a trade probe by the national security into the semiconductor sector and said that the U.S. will not be held hostage by hostile nations like China. We are taking a look at semiconductors and the whole electronic supply chain in the upcoming national security tariff investigations. What is being exposed is that we need to make products in the United States and that we will not be held hostage by other countries, especially hostile trading nations like China, which would do everything within its power to disrespect the American people, that we also cannot let them continue to abuse us on trade like they have for decades. Those days are over. The golden age of America will be bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. We will make America great again. According to a U.S. official quoted by the Politico, the investigation will be initiated under Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act of 1962, which permits the president to impose import restrictions on goods considered a threat to national security. The official noted that the primary goal of the inquiry is to revive U.S. manufacturing in critical technologies. While Section 232 investigations typically take up to 270 days to complete, the White House has indicated that this probe may proceed on an accelerated timeline. In recent months, President Trump has already launched Section 232 investigations into the copper and timber sectors. He has also used the findings of a Section 232 investigation from his first term to justify expanding steel and aluminum tariffs. China has played down the risk of damage to its exports from Donald Trump's tariffs, with an official quoted by Xinhua news agency as saying the sky won't fall. As stock markets rose on April 14th amid signs of a retreat on electronics restrictions, Liu Yang, an official with the General Administration of Customs, as per China's state-run news agency Xinhua, said that China has made steady progress in the recent years in diversifying its foreign trade markets and deepening industrial and supply chain cooperation with partners around the world. The sky won't fall for Chinese exports. These efforts have not only supported our partners' development, but also enhanced our own resilience, highlighting China's vast domestic market, the Xinhua report said. The country will turn domestic certainty into a buffer against global volatility. Meanwhile, China's President Xi Jinping, during his April 14th visit to Vietnam, authored an editorial criticizing U.S. tariffs. The editorial, jointly published in Vietnamese and Chinese official media, said there are no winners in a trade war or a tariff war. Jinping added that China and Vietnam should support a fair global trade system in order to achieve stable supply chains in a global cooperative environment. Our two countries should resolutely safeguard the multilateral trading system, stable global industrial and supply chains, an open and cooperative international environment. Meanwhile, amid looming uncertainty, Japan's Nikkei gained 1.2%, while Hong Kong's Hang Seng rose by 2.2%. And the Shanghai and Shenzhen exchanges climbed by 0.8% and 1.2%, respectively on April 14th. European stock market indices also jumped in opening trades, with London's FTSE 100 up by 1.6%. Germany's DAX up 2.2%, and France's Tech 42%. Despite heightened tensions between the U.S. and China over technology trade, China's semiconductor exports have shown strong growth as Beijing accelerates efforts to strengthen its domestic chip industry, according to data released by the General Administration of Customs on April 14th. China exported 298.1 billion integrated circuit units in 2024, in the first quarter of 2025 alone. Integrated circuit exports surged by 22% in volume and 12% in value, while China's smartphone exports fell 7.5% in the first quarter. Other electronics posted modest growth last year. Smartphone exports rose 1.5% year-on-year in 2024 to 813.94 million units, while laptop exports climbed 1.7% to 142.95 million units. The data highlighted China's integrated circuit imports have also continued to grow despite U.S. restrictions on high-end chips in 2024. The country imported 549.2 billion ICE units in the first quarter of 2025. Imports rose 8.1% in volume and 3.2% in value, reaching $88.34 billion. As per China's report, as trade tensions show no sign of easing, both Washington and Beijing appear to be repositioning their semiconductor strategies in a tech standoff that could reshape global supply chains for years to come.